So welcome back to Vintage Steel Garage. Today we're going to be working on the, well, I say today in the next few weeks, we're going to be working on the Porsche 911 because we've got 6 weeks to get it ready to go to Le Mans. So we've got loads of work to do. Let's have a quick walk round and I'll show you what we're going to get on with. So let's start with our work. First bit of work we've got is the rear cross members are rotten. So I've got some replacements somewhere here. So these are some good used ones I've picked up that we're going to paint up, clean up and put on. You may think they're rusty, but I'll wait till I show you the ones that we've got on the car. So they're going to be replaced. We've got front CV gaiters are split and perished. You can see there are splits in the gaiter there where it won't be long until they're actually coming through. There's also a rip in the gaiter here. You can just see that there where it's leaking out, so it'll need inner and outer doing. It'll need anti-roll bar bushes doing either side because they're perished and corroded. General tidy up underneath. A little bit of a corrosion to address there. That's actually copper grease. It's not actually as bad as what it looks, but it does need painting and cleaning up. Going to paint and clean the entire underside, take all these trays off. A lot of the trays down here are broken and damaged, and those are the rear suspension arms there. I'll go around the back, that are also corroded. Oh, and we've also got some corroded brake pipes here that need looking at. Suspension arms, they could do with a coat of paint or a tidy up. New EBC pads to fit all round. All these wheel arches need detailing, cleaning. Rust issues need addressing there. I've took the wheel arch liner out on this side so we can have a good look round, but all this needs to be cleaned and sorted out. Around the back we have an RMS oil leak here to look at. So you can see these are like the brace arms from the subframe to the body, they're rotted through. Same with the rear bushes here, they need looking at. Head studs are corroded, we may get away with that if we don't touch them and do that another time. Needs a service. It's got a rough idle that we need to look at and a bit of a tapping noise. I'm hoping the tapping noise is because it hasn't been used for 6 months, that we've got the hydraulic tappets drained of oil, and that's what it will do with a good run and come through. We've got the suspension geometry to check. These are eccentric cams on the wheels here, we need them setting up. Yeah, so you can see this is pretty broken here, so I'm going to have to either bond glue that or replace it. Clips have broken here and that side as well, I've been held on with cable ties, generally quite corroded. Seems to have an oil leak on the gearbox on this side, whereas on that side there's no oil leak, but it's obviously, I think this car has been stood for a while because there's even sort of moss and verdigris on these gaiters here, so I think it's been stood in a damp garage at some point, which has probably been a little bit of its demise. But hey ho, it's 20 years old. Oh yes, I think I may have mentioned brake pipes. There's some brake pipes to replace, going to this rear corner on this side, and the others just need a good looking at. So there's plenty of work to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start by getting all these belly panels off all the way down so we can get the full access to the underside. So having got the belly pans off, this is my list of jobs which I think need doing prior to going to Le Mans and prior for the MOT. The ones in the red are the MOT jobs. So we've got the rear cross braces we've mentioned, we've got the front CV gaiters, inner and outer. We've got some brake pipes corroded. One I think will need replacing, 2 will clean up. Anti-roll bar brushes front and rear, MOT obviously. RMS is rear main seal, that's leaking. We may get away with that and just ignore it. Exhaust manifolds, we might ignore those as well. Gearbox leak, not to be confused with the RMS leak. I think it's coming out of the input shaft on one side because it's wet. Front and rear brake pads because the braking is absolutely shocking. I think it's just the pads are actually aged out. Broken under trays we need to refix, or else they'll be flapping around, and also the misfire and tick over. Misfire on tick over could also be bore scoring, but again, let's ignore that. Let's stick to the more easy stuff to do, work our way through, and we'll just hope the other stuff will magically repair itself. So the parts list so far is inner and outer CV gaiter, bonnet badge, because obviously that's essential. The bonnet badge is just well, faded and worn out, and I don't like it. I want to go to a gold one with the red and the black on rather than all black. Of course it's priority to order the badge, because if I order the badge it will mean that there isn't actually bore scoring and we're all okay with it. I'm going to just elaborate on that. I'm fairly optimistic, famous last words, that it's not bore scoring, and the reason why is when I parked it up 6 months ago outside, I know that's bad, it wasn't ticking, and now it is. So I think it's the hydraulics with the oil draining out of the system. I've only ran it for 5 minutes, ran it in from outside to inside the garage, so I think really it probably just needs the Italian tune up, which should sort that out. So let's crack on with all the other jobs, get the belly pans off. So let's just crack on, get underneath, just make a final assessment, make the list of the parts, and then we can start ticking those jobs off. Okay, so I think that'll do for a quick walk round on the first episode on the 9911 recommissioning, ready for its road trip to Le Mans. We've got quite a bit of work to do. Hopefully some of the big problems like the bore scoring will be eliminated. I pretty much think it's just that it's sat for so long and it's a very tappety top engine. Hopefully that will be eliminated, but for the time being I'll ignore that and just polish the car and valet it and hope that that will fix. No, I'm joking. It will be fine. That will be fine. We'll work through the rest of it. Got the brakes to replace, gaiters to replace, MOT to do, brake pipes to look at, lots of things to do, so please keep watching. More episodes coming soon when all the parts have arrived. Thank you, goodbye.